Breaking news. A critical development has just shaken the battlefield. Russian forces have suffered a significant tactical blow as Ukrainian military units successfully targeted and destroyed key strategic sites deep within contested zones. This marks a major turn in the ongoing conflict, with ripples expected across both diplomatic and military landscapes. In this video, we uncover what really happened, how this operation was carried out, and what this means for the future of the war. If you're seeking facts without propaganda, you've landed on the right video. Let's explore the most important developments behind this unfolding story. In recent days, Ukrainian forces have executed a series of coordinated strikes that have significantly disrupted Russian operations. These weren't random artillery shellings or isolated drone attacks, they were part of a WELP, land offensive targeting command centers, ammunition depots, and logistical hubs that are vital to Russia's battlefield control. According to several defense analysts and military briefings, the targets were chosen specifically to weaken Russia's ability to respond quickly and to cripple their capacity for sustained warfare in that region. Satellite imagery, open-source intelligence, and on-ground video footage released by Ukraine's Ministry of Defense point to precise strikes in the Zaporizhia and Donetsk regions. These areas are not just territories under dispute, they are strategic gateways for control of southern Ukraine and are critical to Russia's supply lines and troop movements. Striking these locations effectively means disrupting Russian resupply operations and potentially forcing a shift in their tactical priorities. Reports from both Western and Eastern sources suggest that Ukraine's growing use of long-range precision-guided systems including U.S. supplied HIMARS and European Storm Shadow missiles played a pivotal role in this attack. What makes this development even more significant is the increasing frequency and accuracy of these attacks. In just the past week, more than a dozen key Russian positions were hit, some of which were reportedly housing advanced electronic warfare equipment, command personnel, and artillery coordination units. In one notable instance, a large Russian ammunition depot located near Tokmak was struck, causing a massive explosion that reportedly continued for several hours due to the secondary blasts of stored munitions. The plume from the explosion was visible for miles and confirmed by both satellite sensors and independent media footage. Ukrainian officials claimed this depot was a central hub for supplying artillery rounds to multiple front lines. If this claim is accurate, the strike could delay Russian shelling operations for days, possibly weeks. Additionally, another high-altitude target was a command post believed to be hosting senior officers of the Russian Southern Military District. Though official Russian sources have denied any major damage or casualties, intercepted communications and unofficial reports suggest otherwise. Some analysts believe this could be one of the most significant command disruptions Russia has faced in recent months, if not the entire year. It's important to note that these strikes come amidst an ongoing Ukrainian counteroffensive that is intensifying by the week. Ukrainian forces, although facing stiff resistance and complex minefields, have been steadily reclaiming territory and applying pressure along multiple fronts. Their strategy appears to center on cutting off Russia's logistical arteries, essentially choking the flow of weapons, fuel, and reinforcements to forward units. This latest wave of strikes seems to be part of that overarching strategy. By dismantling supply hubs and targeting coordination centers, Ukraine is forcing Russia to adapt, reposition, and, in some cases, retreat. This approach is not only a tactical maneuver, but also a psychological one. By showing they can strike deep behind enemy lines, Ukraine sends a powerful message: Russian rear areas are no longer safe. Russia's response has been a mixture of denial and escalation. State media continues to underplay the effectiveness of Ukrainian strikes, often labeling them as unsuccessful provocations. However, Russian military bloggers, many of whom are embedded with frontline units, have reported significant material losses and even described morale issues among some battalions. Furthermore, emergency efforts to rebuild damaged infrastructure and redistribute supplies have been initiated, indicating the impact may be deeper than acknowledged publicly. On the ground, Russian troops have reportedly begun dispersing equipment more widely to minimize losses from future strikes. There are also signs that mobile command units are being used more frequently, as fixed installations have become prime targets for Ukrainian missiles and drones. This recent setback for Russian forces raises serious questions about the sustainability of their current positions. With key supply and command assets now either destroyed or degraded, the ability to launch new offensives or even maintain certain defensive lines may be compromised. Ukraine's defense ministry has been careful in its statements, often refraining from celebrating too soon, but they have confirmed significant operational successes. In recent operations, military observers from NATO countries and independent analysts are watching this development closely. Many believe that Ukraine is slowly shifting the momentum of the war. While it's too early to declare any kind of strategic victory, these recent actions do indicate a growing sophistication in Ukrainian operations and a maturing of their battlefield intelligence and coordination capabilities. Another factor to consider is Western support. The effectiveness of recent strikes highlights how foreign supplied systems are changing the nature of the conflict. Ukraine is not only receiving weapons, but also training and battlefield intelligence, much of it in real time. This fusion of local initiative and external support is proving to be a potent combination. However, these victories come at a cost. Ukraine's forces are still stretched thin across a long front, and their success depends heavily on the continued flow of Western aid. Every missile fired, every drone launched, and every armored push forward requires resources, and those resources must keep coming. The West is watching carefully too, evaluating whether the aid they provide is translating into real progress. And as of this moment, the answer seems to be yes. It's also critical to understand that this conflict isn't just being fought with missiles and tanks. It's also a war of morale, propaganda, and public perception. Ukraine's latest strikes serve not only as military successes, but also as psychological victories. They show the Ukrainian people and the world that resistance is not just symbolic. It is operational. It is strategic, and it is capable of delivering real blows to one of the world's largest militaries. At the same time, Russia is likely to retaliate, and that retaliation may come in different forms. Increased missile strikes on Ukrainian cities, cyber attacks, or escalations in other contested regions are all possible responses. The situation remains tense, and both sides are aware that the war could enter an even more dangerous phase if current escalations continue. International reactions have been swift but cautious. While Western officials have praised Ukraine's effectiveness, they have also urged restraint and continued diplomatic engagement where possible. Meanwhile, Neutral countries and global powers like China and India are closely monitoring the situation, weighing their own political positions against the evolving balance of power on the ground. In summary, the recent wave of Ukrainian strikes has dealt a noticeable blow to Russia's operational capabilities. From destroyed ammo depots to compromised command centers, these attacks are not just symbolic, they are strategic moves in a long and grinding war. Whether this will lead to a broader shift in the conflict remains to be seen. But for now, Ukraine has shown the world that it is not only defending, it is actively reshaping the battlefield in its favor. The coming weeks will be critical. Will Russia mount a counter-response that restores its logistical strength? Will Ukraine be able to capitalize on its momentum and push further? And how will the international community respond as the war continues to evolve? These are the questions that will define the next chapter of this war. And now, to all of our viewers watching from around the world, thank you for choosing this channel for accurate, unbiased, and well-researched updates on the most critical geopolitical developments. If you found this information valuable, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Your support helps us bring more high-quality content and keep you informed with clarity and integrity. This conflict continues to evolve, and so will our coverage. Stay informed, stay aware, and stay with us.